Welcome to another edition of Comet Algebra. This video is for Algebra 2, Chapter 2, Section 7, Distance and Midpoint. So just to be clear now, this distance and midpoint formula are on the coordinate plane, which is the xy plane, not on the number line. So the distance is equal to the square root of x2 minus x1 quantity squared plus y2 minus y1 quantity squared. And I'm hoping that this kind of looks familiar. Perhaps you can see where it comes from. If you would square both sides, it sort of has the same format as the good old familiar Pythagorean theorem. And that is indeed where it comes from, because it is measuring the sides of the triangle, and the hypotenuse is the distance between the 2 points. Midpoint is the answer is an ordered pair, so that's how this formula is set up. It's in parentheses, and this part gives us the x coordinate of the midpoint, and this part of the formula gives us the y coordinate of the midpoint. So your answer would look like, 7 comma 3/2. Okay, that's what I mean by the answer is an ordered pair. So we just need to look at one example, and I think that's all we need for this section. So we're going to find the distance and midpoint between the ordered pair -4, 2 and 1, 7. It really doesn't matter which one you call x1, y1 or x2, y2 as long as you're consistent. So I guess I'm just going to label so that I don't make a mistake. All right, we'll find distance first. So the distance is the square root. So if I have x2 minus x1, I would have 1 minus a -4, which becomes a +4, that quantity squared, plus 7 minus 2 quantity squared. So now if we evaluate this, this is 5 squared. Oh, and so is this 5 squared. So we have the square root, 25 plus 25 is square root 50. Now we could be asked to leave our answer in simplest radical form, in which case we look for a perfect square in the 50, and I hope we see that we have 25 times 2, 25 being the perfect square. So if you take the square root of 25, that's what comes out in front, is 5. The 2 remains under the radical. And it's also possible for us to be asked to give this in a decimal value. So if you punched square root 50 on your calc, that would be approximately equal to 7.07. And that's the distance between those 2 points. Second thing we're asked to find is midpoint. So midpoint is like, I think of it as the average between the x's to get the x coordinate, and the average between the y's to get the y coordinate. So I'm just going to take the two x's, 1 plus a -4, or 1 minus 4 over 2, that's my x coordinate, and then I have 7 plus 2 over 2 for my y coordinate. And evaluating this, we have -3/2 and 9/2. So that is the location of the midpoint between these 2 points. All right, that's all the information you need. Now you should be able to handle section 2.7. So have fun with that.